Greetings Wanderer, this is Atlas here and welcome to the Void. Today I'm going to be reacting and breaking down a song called Seer Alone from the Dark Souls 2 original soundtrack. A couple of weeks ago I made a poll in my community tab asking you which of the following songs I should react and break down next. And as you can see here, actually Majula was the winner with 48% of the votes and Seer Alone coming second with 36%. Thing is that I recently started playing the game and I already heard the Majula song. So in this case I'm gonna have to go with the second place, of course, which is Seer Alone. Which, by the way, I'm gonna be leaving in this card right here, the playthrough, and also in the description of this video. But before we begin, I would like to also invite you to listen to my latest track, which is a BERSERK inspired song called Conceived in Blood, which is actually the song that you have been listening in the background of the intro of this video. So if you like what you hear so far and you would like to hear the full song, I am also going to leave it in this card right here and in the description of the video, right? So with that being said, onward. Alright. Going to be Seer Alone from Dark Souls 2 original soundtrack. Boom! I like that accent in each bar. Okay. I really like the kind of the counter melody that is in the strings, this part. I wonder if this was composed by Yuka. This sounds like a Yuka composition. Wow. Yeah, and there we have it. And there it is. I think this might be like a Yuka Kitamura composition. The reason why I say this is because of the style of composition in the choirs, very specifically. I've noticed that Yuka, at least so as some of the tracks that I have listened from her, you know, they make a really hard emphasis on making choir wall of sounds, all right? And this is absolutely the case. This actually reminded me a lot of what the some of the you know, the compositional style in Dark Souls 3, which is, you know, super choir wall of sound heavy kind of like. So I don't know, I'm just taking a guess here that it's her, but it could very well not be. I don't think it's the previous, it's the composer from Dark Souls 1. I don't think that that's the case. He has like a drastically different compositional style, although he uses two, you know, choir arrangements and whatnot, but they're not so heavily emphasized as in this particular track. But anyways, we're going to be talking more in depth about those things in the breakdown, so let's break it down. Okay, so for this breakdown, I am going to noodle around a little bit in the guitar, you know, some of the chord progressions that I heard, and a little bit of a scale in which I find, you know, the choir mainly, because like I said before, this is a choir heavy song, you know, where it sits in the scale and whatnot. This is not going to be like an accurate representation of the song, but I'm just trying to improvise over it to get a little bit of a feel where it goes in terms of the scales and you know, and the chord progression. Okay, so let me get my guitar. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm just going to play a little bit of the intro, which is very brief, and some of the following part, you know, where I said you have like an accent in each bar, which is something very recurrent in the song, okay? So I was noodling around a little bit before in the song, and I found out that that's probably the chord in which the song opens. Maybe I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's like a diminished weird chord. I'm gonna play it for you so you can hear it. This is why the intro of the song sounds so bleak, and you know, I'm not entirely sure if this is a diminished chord. I think it is, but because you know, that's more of a diminished thing. This is more of an augmented thing. But anyways, you know, all these intervals that are like diminished and are augmented. Very much diminished, because augmented sounds even more like I don't know how to say it, how to describe the sound, but you know, they are very weird chords, you know what I mean? They add so much tension, and there's an enemy of cacophony in it, you know? It's not like a major chord or even a minor chord where there's a little bit more of sense of what something harmonically pleasant to the ear, you know? Even in the minor chord or the major chord, obviously, like the most ear candy one, I would say, although for my preference it will be like a minor chord. But you know, it has that cacophonous nature to it. So yeah, just noodling around a little bit, I can hear that, as far as I can tell, like you have a very persistent chord progression in this following section, in which you have like basically a root note in F, just doing the accent of each bar, and then you can hear the choir and the counter melody just building upon it. I was basically playing in the scale, this is like a harmonic minor scale, and this is very much from the, you know, Bach era, you know, Baroque era. A lot of harmonic minor in Baroque era compositions, very much specifically in Bach was very into it, like using the harmonic minor. Alright, so after noodling around with the guitar a little bit, like I said before, I was not going for accuracy in terms of the leitmotif of the song or whatnot. I just wanted to get a feel of where the chords were going and get literally a feel of a song. And just by that opening chord, I still say that I'm not entirely sure, but at least when I play it over the song, it sounds like it's close to accurate, This weird, I think it's this C sharp diminished chord over it. When you hear the choir opening the song, apologies, it has this cacophonous nature to it. And that's what basically gives you all, not all, but most of the information that what's coming next, It's a very foreboding opening, it's trying to tell you a story of something that is not pleasant, because the song is not pleasant. It doesn't have like this ear candy nature to it. It's not an euphonic kind of a chord. It's very cacophonous. Sounds a kind of dissonant, okay? So by opening the song that way, it's actually building a lot of storytelling that is behind the song. Now, as we follow into the track and we hear this very cool arrangement that we hear, that there's an accent in each bar, and I think it's in F. Also, I think the song might be in 3/4, which is a very common measure for waltz, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it sounds like it was in 3/4. Let me give it a brief listen again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. By doing the accent at the beginning of the first bar, gives the song sort of this martial element to it, but at the same time, by the length of the measure of the bar, just 3/4, which is the waltz measure, overall, then it gives it like this dancey, obviously waltz kind of sound. It's basically like a warlike waltz, let's say. You're going to war but dancing at the same time, something like this. So yeah, by having that element, I would say that it's a kind of a very poetic and artistic way for going into battle, let's say, So yeah, I would say that the song overall, it has a very good storytelling, very much specifically since the beginning, with that opening choir part with this same chord, which I think it's like a C sharp diminished chord or something. And that chord sort of works as a premonition to what's coming next, all right? However, I would say that this is not something that I would say it's a bad thing about the song. It's just something that I don't particularly like in music, and is that the choirs sound too loud. Like there's too much emphasis in the choirs, and that sometimes sounds over stimulating for me, at least. But this is just like a personal preference. I don't like those kind of things, as well as I don't like, you know, like super loud cymbals in music, at least in symphonic music. In orchestral music, I don't like that much, especially when you're doing transitions and whatnot. But that doesn't mean that obviously that the song is bad or whatnot. It's just that it's preference of mine not to have those things, and that's why I have found myself in a weird position in which I haven't been able to really get into Yoka's music so far, because most of the time, like she likes to do, well, in case this song is by Yuka, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to look it up. But if that's the case or not, it's just the choirs are just way too in your face, you know what I mean? So I think I'm gonna give this track a silver badge. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friend. Also, please don't forget to visit my Patreon, my Ko-fi profile, and my Ko-fi store in case you want to support my work further, and my Teespring merch shop. And of course, ex nihilo nihil fit.